Hey everyone, we have Swathi here with us, a very special guest who has been a best-selling author with all the awards that you can see in her background. She has written the book The Four Makeovers and is a superpower author award winner a couple of months back at an event in Delhi. So today we are going to talk to her and understand her author journey and what inspired her to write a book that went on to become a best-selling book that impacted a lot of people in the way they think and has got a social recognition across different people. She has also donated 40% of her proceeds to a noble cause, and that makes her achievement even more special. So welcome, Swathi, to my YouTube channel. It's an honor to have you here, and we would love to hear your story. What inspired you to be an author and be the person that you are today? Welcome.
Thank you, Raghunath.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Raghunath.
Yeah.
And I'm so very honored and I'm feeling privileged to be part of your interview.
Yeah.
It's been an amazing journey being an author. Yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful. So, what is that one inspiration that made you think that I should probably write a book? I know you talked about your husband being your motivation and then support of pillar of support. So, is there something to it that motivated you to write a book?
Yeah, it's like I can say that the bamboo tree journey,
Mm-hmm.
wherein I was doing a lot of healings and everything. And when I used to write blogs on LinkedIn or in any other social media, people used to say that you write so well. Why can't you write it as a book? And you
Yeah.
have so many inspirational stories. I
Mm-hmm.
was holding on to it for 6 years, to be frank,
Okay.
and I was like, "Oh, writing a book, it is a huge thing. What if
Right.
I procrastinate? What if I stop?"
Yeah.
The turning point for that was when I was not well and I was on medical leave. I was just browsing through the stuff, and I
Mm-hmm.
came to know that yes, we have a training course on how to write a book and publish. So I got
Yeah.
excited, and within 4 hours, I got motivated. I
Right.
signed up, and maybe within a month, the book was published. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So it just took you less than a month to completely, begin and then write the
Yes.
complete book. Okay, that's wonderful. And how was it that you chose the topic that you chose, like the four makeovers? Is that something that's been been stuck in your mind since a long time, or is it something that you thought I should write a book and now let's think about a topic?
Initially, the title of my book was Embodiment of Magic. So
Okay.
usually in my social media, I post everything with the tagline as "Be the Magic," because
Okay.
in my view, it's everything is within us. So if we just enlighten ourselves, we become magic for ourselves. So I
Right.
used to post my all the social media posts as "Be the Magic." So I kept the name as Embodiment of Magic. And
Okay.
couple of my friends, when I told that this is a book title, they were like, "Oh, are you going to teach magic in this?" Then that is that is the
Okay.
time I realized, yes, maybe I understand, but the readers has to understand.
Ah.
And the way how I prepared my one pager was like based on all the stories from my coaches. I mean, sorry, my coaching sessions.
Okay.
Because I keep doing my most of the time it will be online, and in person it is very less. If at all a person have a bodily issue wherein I can use the healing techniques, I'll invite them to home for the session. If not,
Okay.
most of it will be online. So then I thought, okay, what and all have I addressed as part of my coaching?
Mm-hmm.
So I had some 5 good stories on the childhood traumas, and I
Okay.
had some 10 to 15 stories on establishing the relationship with body, and there
Okay.
were numerous stories on how to win the inner battle. And
Okay.
especially, I am specialized in relationship coaching. So usually,
Okay.
I do this relationship coaching with the spouses or in-laws, especially in India with the in-laws, and
Okay.
we have a lot of relationships. So
Right.
then I thought, why can't I put everything together as a book with all these experiences, which becomes like a whole treat for the self transformation, starting from the childhood. We transform relationship, transform self, transform the relationship with the body, and also childhood traumas. That's the place
Okay.
where that embodiment of magic became the Four Makeovers because it was 4 different chapters.
Okay, okay. You mentioned an interesting point where it's about you that you specialize in relationship coaching, and that especially like challenges with in-laws, because it's usually the case that you are brought up in one kind of setup, and then you get
Correct.
married into another kind of value system, and then there's a conflict, and then the tension begins, and then there are challenges around relationships, right? So what are the common things that you find among people who deal with such challenges, and how do you think that you can help them overcome such challenges?
See, I can name few example, the
Yep.
projections and expectations what we have. So basically, when we get into others' life as a spouse, maybe a
Hmm.
wife or husband, each one has their own projections and expectations towards the relationship. And
Right,
that's a place where when the expectations are not fulfilled, you will get into the conflict.
right,
And the
right,
second is that each one wants to control each other, even though you say that I have, what
right,
unconditional love, right?
right, right.
And third thing is there is so much of selfishness, even though we say
Mm.
that we are one. The
Yeah.
wife side relatives, husband side relatives. You told them this, I told them this, these kind of conflicts.
Right, right.
And the fourth one is obviously with each other's parents. These are the common things which I
Mm.
encountered, and what I felt is each of it is a caged point of view. So in
Mm.
my book also I speak more about the caged point of views, wherein
Okay,
how we limit ourselves with this caged kind of thoughts and feelings and emotions.
okay.
I get most of my clients with all these, especially in India, we get this. And for the overseas, I always see the control freak mechanism kind of issues. So this is what
Okay.
I encountered in so many cases. Yeah.
Okay. So let's say if there is, a situation where there is conflict that you mentioned, that, one thinks that he's right, and the other set of,
Mm.
let's say, parents or even in-law relatives think that they are right, and there's a conflict in their value system. So how do you manage and keep a balance within your mind when you're dealing with like two different set of people, especially for a spouse who is like unknown territory for them in many instances?
See, one suggestion what I give to any married couple always is there is nothing called your parents and my parents, your
Yeah.
relatives and my relatives. It is our. So when
Right.
you go with that concept of our, then you will have that feeling of oneness. Take
Mm.
example, a girl is not married,
Okay.
so she'll have a new setup, new family, wherein some mother gets married and they got part of their family. As a girl, you get accustomed because you're
Mm.
still with your parents. But
Right.
when you
Right.
get married, it is like, you will have that kind of feeling that, see, I have left everyone and came for you, and you're
Right.
doing this, you're. So when you see this family also as your family, you will not have any kind of, separation there. So
Mm.
you'll feel them as one family. That's what I always tell them, that you don't say your and mine, say our.
Ah, correct. Correct. That's wonderful point of bringing in inclusion and unity, because most often what we say is, it's my opinion and your opinion, but in fact it's just like, finding a win-win situation where we can like uh, be winning in both cases when we are in a conflict, because there are definitely instances where we can reach a point of agreement, but if we don't ponder over it, it always becomes a conflict in our mind, and we are unwilling to give away any territory that we think is ours. So a good point made there. So, Swati, in your book, how did you structure that? Did you like write stories, or you have some content which is like connecting at an emotional level based on all the experience that you have?
So if you talk, as I mentioned earlier, it is a 4 chapters. Childhood as one
Okay.
chapter,
Okay.
relationship with the body as the second chapter, and the third
Mhm.
chapter is inner battle, which is something to do with completely self. There is no
Okay.
other person in the third chapter. So fourth chapter is
Okay.
of relationships. The way how I
Uh-huh.
started that is starting from the self, relationship with self, which is
Okay.
very important. That is what we call as self love. So relationship with self, relationship with this, our kids, basically, our son or daughter, kind of thing. And next is relationship with parents,
Hmm.
then relationship with spouse, relationship with parent-in-laws, relationship with co-workers, and finally relationship with money. So I have
Okay.
divided the relationships chapter as a 7 different sub-units,
Okay.
and each one has 1 or 2 stories.
Mm-hmm.
On say, take example, as we are talking about the spouse, there are one story which I really mentioned, which is very close to my heart, is about a couple who are very close to our family, and
Okay.
how they went through differences because of just misunderstandings, and they
Mm-hmm.
were about to separate. And
Okay.
that's the time the girl's brother reached out to me, and he said, you please help me
Okay.
out.
Okay.
And within 10 days I went to her, and I was able to actually interview both separately. Then
Okay.
I came to know the perspective. So it went for 2 months. It is a
Oh.
2 months counseling session for almost 6 to 8 weeks, wherein I
Okay.
gave them different tools and techniques, like forgiveness, gratitude on each other,
Mm.
and writing what each other doesn't like in each other. And then
Okay.
reading, I mean exchanging it and reading,
Okay.
which is like a scary thing for any of the spouse.
Right.
And then finally I went through therapy, a combination of pranic healing and access, wherein I guided them a chakral healing and all.
Okay.
So they
Okay.
took some 7 to 8 weeks, and they completely changed their perspectives, and
Mm.
it was the edge of separation to a second honeymoon. That's the way how it transformed in 2 months. So that is
Wonderful.
a
Yeah.
story which is close to my heart, and that is what I mentioned in my book. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing, Swati. I think that's the best service that you can do to any couple, because if they are at a point of conflict in that might lead to a separation, and then they are coming back in a very positive way, that's the work of God that you're doing. It's just amazing, and they should be very grateful to you for that.
Yes, and it should come from their inner self, right? Yes,
Mm,
I'm okay to give a second chance. So if they
right.
are ready, then it is easy to facilitate.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Swati, I know that you are a SAP consultant by profession. So how did you get into all of this relationship coaching and things like this? And how did you get excited about writing a book on that topic?
So basically, I mean, I just mentioned in my book also, from my childhood, my grandmother, she used to do some mantras that time,
Okay.
some 3, 4 decades back. It
Okay.
was more of, mantras, tantras, and all to heal small things.
Okay.
So what she did when I was 5 or 6 years, she taught me that. So
Okay.
that was
Okay.
so fun for me that I used to do that for my neighbors.
Oh,
So I
awesome.
developed interest on that. And
Okay.
maybe in my graduation, I learned Reiki, and I was so
Okay.
excited with that.
Okay.
And because I was hearing lot of these things, I mean, I'm from a small town called Hindupur. Now it is a taluk. I used to
Okay.
listen lot of stories on this. My husband is like that. My wife is like this. He is doing. I mean, when you sit with any relative or any friends, they'll have almost like 60% of the time bitching about each other.
Yeah, I get that.
So that's the time when I started thinking, what can we do different so
Uh-huh.
that they have a harmonious relationship? And
All
when
right.
I started pranic healing, in pranic healing, there is a separate chapter on how to do the relationship healing. And I got so attracted.
Okay.
And I had some 4 or 5 instances within my extended family wherein these kind of things happened. And I developed interest and I saw the success. So I
Okay.
started doing more of relationship coaching.
Okay, okay, wonderful. So it's your grandmother's experiences and influence that
Yes,
motivated you
yes.
to wonderful, wonderful.
My
It's
grandmother and
uh-huh.
my mother and sister. They are
Okay.
more of spirituality, but grandmother is someone who introduced me to energy and all this stuff. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah. I also truly believe that energy has a very powerful influence in the way that you conduct your lives. Because if you are a person with low energy and a lot of lethargic, activity, consciousness, you tend to be a very slow and uh, not a achiever kind of person, which you radiate. I mean, you are radiating a lot of energy, positivity, and
Mm,
gratefulness and things like that, which is a very powerful emotion to have for anyone.
yes.
Absolutely. Nagaswati, we have been, hearing a lot of valuable insights from you, and it's an absolute delight to be conversing with you. For any of our viewers who want to reach out to you, which is the best medium to reach you?
Okay, I have Insta handle as Nagaswati, maybe
Okay.
T_J__. There are a lot of underscores,
Okay. Okay.
but we can give the QR code there.
Okay.
Insta and my Facebook.
Okay.
And if the viewers would like to reach out specifically about the book, I have a dedicated email ID, which is the
Okay.
fourmakeovers@gmail.com. So
Okay.
the viewers can reach out to me on that.
Wonderful.
And when they go for this Insta handle, and they have a link on my coaching session. So basically, if they click on my profile, access profile, they can also book one-to-one coaching with me on a specific topic.
Okay. Okay. So do you have a separate landing page for booking
Yes,
counseling session?
it's
Okay.
it's basically Access Consciousness website, because I mentioned I'm Access Bars and Body Process Facilitator. I train people on how to do that. So I
Okay.
have a landing page in the Access Consciousness website, so they can make use of it and book one-to-one coaching session.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful. That's valuable information for the viewers. Any closing comments that you would like to make for anyone who may be watching this video?
So I would like to provide three different, messages. One is, stop thinking that others should change for me.
Hmm.
Start looking within and see what can I change, so that I can be a better person. Because if
Absolutely.
you change within, your environment and people around changes. This is something which
Absolutely.
we keep listening from people.
Yeah.
And the second thing is, cultivate compassion, not
Hmm.
even empathy. Cultivate compassion so that you can stop judging people,
Hmm.
start understanding the perspectives. And
Right.
third thing is, always give second chance for any kind of relationship.
Right.
It There is something which is hidden, which can be transformed, so that you can have a happy and meaningful relationship. These are the three conclusions I can give for all the viewers who are looking at this
Wonderful.
interview.
I really liked all of these 3 points. It's an absolute delight when I interview authors. I mean, they drop in like value bombs like this. It's just amazing. It changes the complete trajectory of your life sometimes when you hear something like this.
And finally, thank you so much, Raghunath. You have
Yep.
really taken this very good initiative,
Yep.
wherein you are taking the so-called truth bombs from all the authors to the audience. And
Yep.
it's a very good initiative. And keep growing, keep inspiring. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you so much, Swati. You've been a great, valuable influence on me, and also I'm sure it will be on the viewers as well. So thank you so much, and we'll talk soon.
Sure. Thank you so much, Raghunath.
Thank you.
Have a good day.